Here we go again. All eyes on Hurricane Ignacio this weekend. Good evening. I'm Pamela Young. Thanks for sticking with us after the game. Ignacio, now a Category 4 hurricane. We have team coverage tonight. KITV4's Mike Cherry live on the Big Island, where residents know all too well what a storm can do. Roger Mari has the city, state, and federal emergency plans in place. Lei Kaholakula live in Kaka'ako with the storm's residual effects, heat and high surf. But let's start with meteorologist Pete Kajana with the very latest on the hurricane track. Pete?
Thanks, Pamela. Yeah, we do have the latest update straight from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, so we want to pass that along to you. Winds, as you mentioned, Category 4. Very unusual to have this strong of a storm in the Central Pacific. Winds are now at 140 miles per hour. It's been moving over water about 82 degrees. Plenty warm to strengthen it. The good news is, though, as you can see the track, this is the new track. It still, for the most part, keeps it north of the state. You can see that southern edge of the forecast cone is brushing up against the northern part of the islands, but for the most part, we're expecting a northerly pass. We're also expecting some weakening. So right now, it's a monster hurricane at 140 miles per hour, but as we head towards Monday, you can see winds down to 90, and then by Tuesday, 80. So it should pass north of the Big Island as we head into Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, passing north of Maui and also Oahu, and then eventually late as we head into late Tuesday, Kauai. So what will we see? Well, winds for the most part, if it takes its current track, will be offshore. Purple, you can see right here, 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Those will be offshore, but we could see potentially some gusts close to tropical storm force, so 35, maybe up to 40 miles per hour on the northern coast of the Big Island. Latest computer models, also good news. For the most part, they're keying in on a northerly track, so that would be good news, keeping it well offshore, but we're going to be right on the edge of this powerful hurricane, and that means we need to be extra cautious. Outer rain bands could bring a flood threat, 2 to 4 inches of rain. We've already had a lot of rain over the past few weeks. We do have a tropical storm watch in effect for Maui and the Big Island. Coming up, Lake Kaholakula, we're going to talk about one of the first impacts, some very dangerous surf that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, we'll go ahead and toss it back to you, Pamela.
Thank you, Pete. If Ignacio continues on its present course, the first to feel the effects, the Big Island, and that's where KITV4's Mike Cherry is standing by live. Mike?
We are in Hilo Bay, where it was a gorgeous, picturesque kind of day. And just by the looks of it, this would appear to be the last place that could be anticipating the potential arrival of a powerful storm. However, the tone was anything but carefree at the Hawaii County Civil Defense. Officials have been keeping a watchful eye on Ignacio's path. Today, conducting shoreline surf assessments, giving hazard notifications to backcountry areas. Dara Oliveira says they've learned their lesson following a cell which shattered the myth that the Big Island's mountains would protect it from a storm's impact.
I think many people now appreciate how vulnerable we really are and are doing what they can early to prepare, and still recognizing and accepting there's still a lot of risk out there. You know, the albizia trees are still a problem in many of the communities and are going to pose a problem going forward. But the community, as you said, is doing its part to be better prepared.
Being ready for the impact of a storm is nothing new for Hilo residents. At KTA Supermarket, shoppers supplemented their typical weekend grocery carts with a little extra supplies. Always the first island in line for severe storms, they've gone through this drill often in the last few weeks.
We live on water catchment down in Puna side, so yeah, I could say that we're stocking up, but it's pretty much everybody's used to it. It's a back-to-back thing. Yeah, it's coming, so.
After it fell last year, it kind of got us all really scared. So I was prepared for it. So, you know, we prepare for the worst but hope for the best.
If I don't get ready now and it really does actually come, because sometimes it doesn't come, but if it does actually hit us and I'm not prepared, I'm doomed. Like, I'm going to starve to death.
Now, KTA says they'll likely open their stockroom next door if the threat of Ignacio increases. Of course, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., it'll be an all-hands-on-deck affair for civil defense. That's where they'll put their game plan together based upon the latest storm track that comes out at 5 a.m. Now, it has been a beautiful but muggy and humid day out here in Hilo, and I'm sure that that's not anything that's just isolated. So for more on that kind of weather, let's toss it out to Lake Kaholakula back on Oahu.
Hey, thanks, Mike. And that's right. Like you said, it's the calm before the storm, but we're really feeling the effects of the heat. We're taking a quick look at the numbers and those temperatures. Some of the highs today, some areas reached up to the 90s and upper 80s. And on Maui, 91 degrees. But luckily, we do have those winds, those trade winds coming in, bringing some relief. But if Hurricane Ignacio stays on its current path, we'll feel even more of the effects. We'll feel less trade winds, more muggy conditions. So just stay tuned for that one. But we're already seeing some of the effects in our surf. High surf warning for the Big Island, and that stays in effect until 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And they could see surf height up to 20 feet by late Sunday. So really not for novice beachgoers, for experienced beachgoers. And on Maui, we have a high surf advisory in effect until Tuesday as well. And we could see those rising swells spread up the island chain, of course, if Ignacio keeps on its current path. But we also want to talk about those Big Island waters, a tropical storm watch for the Big Island and tropical storm warning for those offshore waters for the Big Island. So boaters, secure your vessels. And for Maui, a tropical storm watch for the island of Maui. And for those offshore waters, you could see some dangerous conditions. They're also under a tropical storm watch. So good idea to just stay prepared in case Ignacio comes, and we'll feel some of those effects in the waters already, feeling some of the effects in the high surf. But just today, city, state, and federal officials got together to prepare for Hurricane Ignacio. Roger Mari has more on that. Roger?
Thanks, Leigh. Well, all of the islands will feel the impact of Ignacio starting this Monday until Wednesday. It's still too early to tell how Jimena might affect the state, but not too early to prepare.
So we have these two very strong hurricanes moving in our direction. And of course, Ignacio is getting very close to our islands.
State, federal, and county officials gathered this morning to brainstorm about how to prepare for a large storm. Ignacio is now a Category 4 hurricane and the 8th tropical cyclone to enter the Central Pacific. It's been a busy hurricane season at City Mill in Iwilei, but they are well stocked with hurricane preparedness supplies.
You can't get tired of it, to keep people prepared. If you get tired of it, you get complacent. Next thing you know, we've got problems.
One of the biggest concerns is the sewer system and whether or not it will be able to handle heavy rains. A sewage spill earlier this week prompted city officials to close some South Shore beaches.
If too much water goes in, if we have a huge downpour, we cannot guarantee there will not be a spill. It's only designed for a capacity of sewage.
Homeless living near streams and riverbanks are also at risk. Right now, city crews continue to clear away debris from streams to prevent them from overflowing their banks during a heavy downpour.
We believe we've gotten most of it, but like anything else, there's a lot of debris upstream in some of the conservation areas.
Clinton Maeshiro is staying ahead of the game after a close call during Hurricane Eva in 1982.
I was praying, I was saying, please God, please save my roof, and the roof didn't fly off, so I was lucky. But I guess you can never be lucky all the time. Yeah?
City, county, and federal officials will meet again tomorrow morning for another briefing on Ignacio and Jimena. At that time, Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell could sign an emergency declaration. Shelters could also open as early as Sunday afternoon. Pamela, back to you.